11th, and we're here with Sam and Richard.
There we
This
go.
is the AutoGraders client meeting, BetaSaaSers group.
There we go. Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Oh, hectic.
Yeah, yeah, the feeling.
Well, I am. I mean, the thing that's happening with me, this class that I'm just teaching, which is our follow-on class to software engineering.
Yeah,
You know how many people are doing like nonprofits and
right.
external projects that way. Well, what our school did was we got some corporate sponsors,
Mm,
sponsor some projects. But
mm,
here we are, about 5 weeks into the semester, and many of them are just like really not, you know,
Ugh,
not
yeah,
picking up the ball,
and the
and
students or the corporate sponsors?
the sponsors,
sure,
Okay. Yeah,
sure.
and it's a kind of thing that I think, it's the way I think things sort of run in academia. It's like, oh, like we have this idea, and the idea is good enough, but a lot of the times it's the logistics of like
the
really
execution. Yeah, well, I
running
think
something.
if that's, I mean, and I think if that's you're working with corporates, I think often the problem is, and this is why Dave and Amanda's thing about working with the non-profits was more helpful, is that the corporates often won't have time to interact with the students at the frequency needed for the agile process. But maybe I'm misinterpreting
Right, and what I said, actually,
Sure.
just I realize what I'm saying is unclear. The academia is that we had people in our university say, oh, this is a way to reach out and improve our corporate relationships. The corporations, like, we're all up for it, but
Oh, okay.
it needs more management than what we've given it, and this is just the first time through. So anyway,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah,
um,
sure.
I was just sharing. You were just saying, like, how am I doing? So I just finished that
Oh
class.
yeah, yeah, no, which is, I mean, right, but no, that's on the academic side. You're saying there's the corporations are quite happy, but yeah, I guess you need like an administrative person on the academic side to kind of maintain the communication with the corporations and keep the thing flowing.
Right. And I joined in, and I sort of foresaw some of these things, but it's like I wasn't the one who initiated it, so it's just like, well, let's go along and see how things go. And
Sure.
anyway, so things are good. If I'm staying with the university, I think I may even be teaching 3 sections of this in the fall.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Yeah.
For whatever, and I'm curious. I'm not worried about it now, but I'm curious what there's a plan for, I guess, a new MOOC to be formed out of the this fall's classes. Is that the plan,
Well, I mean, to
or we're
touch
going to keep it the same?
well to touch on that, I mean, I've created, I've been creating the odd Spock here and there. The I wonder. Um, which have been based on the last run of the course.
Sure.
As I understand it, uh, Armando is running a new version of the course, which I don't know that I have access to necessarily, or maybe it hasn't started. I guess. I sort of Armando's got some new TAs. They're working away on at least one new homework.
Right.
Um,
Which it seemed like it seemed like you were a big part of the instigation. I don't know whether the execution was as you
I have not had a chance to look at this
Right.
at all. I mean, I was certainly in favor of a similar. I think it's something that Armando had been interested in doing, along the way. Yeah, I mean, but I haven't had, I've got like no spare capacity for this kind of thing at the moment. I mean, I'd be interested to see what Armando does in his new class. I mean, I may just ping him to say, "Oh, can I have a can he add me to that?" But yeah, but so I think in principle, for if that class goes well, I mean, Armando also what he was saying was his intention was to flip the class from it. So
Right.
so I don't know if he will necessarily record new videos, but he's going to have some
Oh, okay, okay.
That's kind of
So,
interesting.
so in some sense, so this, when they did fall 2013, it was like, oh, we're recording new videos, and for some reason I had in my mind, apparently no good reason, it's like, oh, they were going to update now fall 2015, record new videos. They may just reuse and update their videos and like bring sort of a new course out of that, like basically update it incrementally.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I think at least Amanda's trying an experiment with a number of different things this spring, right now, with the spring run of the Berkeley course, which, um, uh, yeah, I mean, I've heard Amanda say different things about it in the past and how it would be different in this and the other. In particular, the flipped classroom. I think if he wasn't doing the flipped classroom, then potentially this would be another run where they would record all new videos.
Right, right.
That would be the basis for the new MOOC. But if he's flipping the classroom and he's having watched their old videos, then I don't know that. I mean, he's obviously developing this new assignment and this and the other. I don't know if there's going to be a new MOOC to base the new Spocks on, if you know what I mean. There may
But he's using the Spocks, so it's interesting if he's using the Spocks for the video. He's using his own, like a Berkeley Spock, right?
Yeah, he's got a Berkeley Spock. I mean, I may have one before, and I've had access to those.
Right. And so that has the old lectures and stuff. The interesting thing is is he using the AutoGraders in it, or is he
yeah, I think I assume the AutoGraders are in there as well, but I think he's trying to use more of the. At least this was the thing at some point about a month or so ago, was that he would be using the class time for having people working, in pairing on their stuff, and and not using it for sort of talking head lecture.
Right. Which is what I'm doing more now with Mixed Success.
Right. Yes. Indeed. We talked about that before. Yes.
Interesting. Okay. But I guess the only thing I was thinking of is the new assignment. Is his AutoGrader? Assuming he has an AutoGrader for that, is that AutoGrader? Is he integrated into his Spock? Or is he
well, I think that the development of the new homework is in parallel with the development of integrated into the AutoGrader. I mean, I think Armando wants to have it autogradable. He's got like 250 students or whatever. So his TA had contacted me to ask about how will it fit in with the AutoGrader and this and the other. And actually, he then found a video of me explaining how the AutoGraders worked. And so they're going to be trying to make their own AutoGrader. I think it. I don't know, but I assume that they will roll a new EC2 instance and be experimenting with that. And I will find out when the dust has settled whether they've been.
And do you know if he's? I mean, this is sort of the last thing because I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Is he assigning that this fall to his class?
Well, I don't know, but I'm not sure about anything to do with fall. Like this spring, like right now, like he's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant spring. Is he assigning it?
Well, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if he is or not. I mean, I think it will be a function of can he kind of pull it all together in times, and can the TAs do this, that, and the other, and yeah. So
I was saying fall. Just mistakenly before.
No.
He's running. I mean, he's running the course now.
I believe so, or at least it's starting very soon. I mean, I'm not sure of the exact Berkeley.
Well, it must. Yeah. I mean, it must. I mean, I'm looking at the stuff. Anyway, this is all stuff. If you had the answers at the tip of your tongue, but it's speculation. I've been ignoring it a little bit, like for different reasons, because it's not going to affect me in the short term, and I figure I'll deal with it over the summer. Right. I just visited that myself. Exactly.
Yeah. This is the thing for the spring 2015. I just wonder if we look at the syllabus and the lecture schedule that he's got for here. Yeah. He started that at the end of January, and I mean, the way that it looks like there, he's got lectures first half, second half. I mean, he's got things like it looks like they're delivering some material, and then it's got like activities. So live coding demo, pair learning. It looks like he's not completely flipping it, but he's going to be trying to do a more greater variety of activities within the class.
Okay.
But yeah, so he's got there. It looks like he's got He's got a plan to. He's according to this schedule, he will have delivered that new hang person on Sinatra thing to his class yesterday.
Right. Okay. That's what I was thinking. Is that it would be if he's doing it, it would be now.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's answers to what we're to the
Yeah, I mean,
questions
we
that we're
can see
speculating.
sort of more about what he's doing there. I mean, the interesting question here is, yeah, so I think we've got actually the link to the Spock there, and yeah, maybe I can actually, even without having to bother Armando, we can probably register for it and then view it. Okay, yeah, no, so now we can see the course here, and so yeah, this is Armando's Spock in yeah. So this is yeah, and it looks like yeah. So he's got a single Spock here. He's conjoined them,
Right.
and as I think we talked about
Right.
before. So in principle, um, the yeah. Let's see. I think he's maybe got the same videos as before. Yeah, that looks to me like the same videos. Yeah, but so in principle, the Spocks in the full could be cloned off this, and we would get the new homework, and we would get the new.
Where is the new homework on there? Are you seeing it?
Let's have a look. It's homework, more Ruby, probably SAS architecture and REST. There you go. Homework, hang person, and intro to SAS, TDD, and video.
Right.
Okay.
I had a question about that. This uses Sinatra, is that correct?
So I hear, but that's as much as I know about it, really.
Right. He sent out an email about it, and none of us have looked very carefully.
Right, but so what do you have to? I mean, that wouldn't be part of the VDI, would it?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to.
Of the what DI? Sorry.
The VDI image for the VM.
Oh, not the existing one. No, I mean, but like here it's saying. I'll say one thing, Rose. You're probably for the recording. Not that you're probably you've got it. I don't know if you've got which screen are you recording for the recording? Are you recording my screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just if you click on my thing.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. I mean, but so for example here, like
Here,
the instructions here are to fork this repo and the instruction repo. So the key thing is just to, I would say, like, and I haven't read that yet. So if you read this repo, it looks like the precise instructions are there. But yeah, I don't think that this will be. I mean, I assume here that, for example, if you fork this and clone it into your
So that's bringing it into the.
You bundle it, and it'll install Sinatra as appropriate.
Okay. Do we have access to that repository?
I don't know. Do you? I mean, click on that link and you'll find out.
Let me see.
I mean, I have top-level access on SaaSbook now. I mean, I would have thought that if it's a beta group, I would have thought that yeah, in fact, it's already you should have access to it. It's in the
okay.
It's in there as listed under the slots. So that's you, Rose, and that says that you have access to that one there.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to be sure.
Sure.
I was concerned.
Yeah. Well, I was glad that if there was one thing I was able to do today, I was able to allay your concerns. I guess I'll just say, actually, I noticed with the BetaSaaSers meeting, you kind of, yeah, well, I guess you're letting them, I mean, there's no need to let the local support channel know that the BetaSaaSers meeting is starting.
No, okay, I was having so much trouble with my mouse, I was just trying to post it wherever I could. And I'm confused because when I started it, it says post to Slack, or there's some sort of button you press, and I thought that it would post to Slack, and what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it should go into. It's interesting that it doesn't. Yeah, there does seem to be some problem with it posting for you. Like it should.
Not only that, but at the bottom it said, you know, there's a part where you can edit the screen share, the Hangout or whatever. It has the URL. Well, the URL it had wasn't the URL I had.
Yeah, I wonder if there's some issue with your account and how it's communicating with different. Anyway,
Yeah.
Well, we've had a somewhat unstructured meeting, which is I mean, largely down to me and my unstructured or my day lacking in structure. We've had an interesting chat, though, in some ways. I had sort of in the background been making an agenda here. Go on, Rose.
Right. I'm hoping that people will finish filling out their schedules.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I was gonna. That was the main thing that I was gonna mention. I mean, thank you for doing that. I think I'm trying to get home early and have supper with my family each day now, which is, and that objective doesn't necessarily align with having a meeting at this time.
Sure, I understand. Here's the thing. You said something about like, I don't know about your availability on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I was going to ask Richard about his availability.
I was saying that. I mean, I basically, I mean, I do these scrums for Tuesday. I mean, I was saying like at 3:45 p.m. on Tuesday, I run the Agile Venture Scrum, and there's not so many people, and I kind of feel like if I'm going to be online at these times, why not? Let's do it then. And if there's other Scrum people around, they can join and chat.
Well, who identified the suite of times that that original survey? Okay.
Janet.
So I mean, I don't know, because either they should be like very, very open, like every time possibly opened.
It was because of her tool. It was limited according to the initial presets.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense, but okay.
But I had an idea, okay, because apparently she can't start at 11, which is 11 our time, and you were saying like 3:45, I guess would be a quarter of 11 our time.
Quarter to 11, I imagine 10:45 a.m.
Right. What if we started at 10:45, and I mean I could even start it, and then you might have to leave, but I could continue for a while for those people who came along.
I think that might be the way to go. Yeah.
Yeah. The only issue is I need to get all the little kinks out of what's going on, and there are many.
Yeah. Well, we can look at that together next time, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, if that's your window, and that's actually a better window for me, and it looks like it fits for Richard. And as I said, we'll make it fit for Janet because I'll just stay on with her.
A bit longer, yeah. If she comes in halfway through, that's kind of
right. And that might work out. And also, I did have a couple of quick questions for you guys while you're here.
Go on.
All right. So my students took quiz 2 yesterday. Well, I think in the Spock, it's like your Spock probably says quiz 1. It's the Ruby quiz, all right? And we had some questions about a couple of the answers it gave. There's a question, A responds to the foo method, and of course, I'm sorry, in the Ruby expression A.foo, which calls method foo on receiver A, which of the following conditions affects whether the call succeeds? And the answer is A responds to the foo method, which, that's the definitive answer for sure. But it discounted, it said it was not correct that A's class or one of its superclasses or included modules implements method missing.
My sense, my recollection of that question is is it possible that was a multi-choice question?
Yes, but it only says that one answer is the correct one, and it labels all the rest as false, and I don't understand that.
Well, that's probably a mistake then.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to be sure because it just made no sense to me.
Right. I use a question that was derived from that on one of my written tests, and when I remember that being, there were like a couple of answers that were right, and that's the way that I have them graded. So.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it said that was false, and that kind of just.
And the only thing is, the only possibility I'm thinking is if you didn't check that as a possibility, maybe it was saying you were wrong because you didn't check it and didn't have.
No. I mean, like people had both checked and they got the answer wrong.
Okay, so then it could just be a bug.
Yeah, yeah. And then I had one question, and boy, this made sense to me last year, and I don't know why it's not making sense to me this year. But this is that regular expression thing, and there's one that's obviously tailor-made for this. And oh, here it is, regular expression. And this one, when it says start with the quote, and then you're going to pick up every, you're just going to allow every character, and then there's another quote here. Now, why doesn't it just like go through the whole string on the dot asterisk instead of actually picking up, not capturing the quote? Is it because it's outside the parentheses that you have to not capture it? Is that it?
Well, I think it's about the star, how greedy it is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly my question.
But exactly you can modify the star to be more or less greedy with other regular expression modifiers.
Right, but by default, it's going to be like least greedy.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, I wasn't sure whether it was by default most greedy or least greedy, and that's the part that had me a little confused.
Yeah, I mean, well, that depends.
Yeah, if it's least greedy, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Oh, by the way, I tried a lot of new things in my course this semester, and so far, we're actually having a lot of success.
Right.
For instance, with Homework 0, first of all, they all have to not only pair program, but they have to work with different people each session. And we're keeping track of that, so they can't kind of get away with it. What I did was, in class, we developed a Ruby method, and the way that we developed it is entirely test-driven, but not using RSpec or anything, just using simple Ruby statements, blah, 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 equal, true, or I mean equal the value, and so it's either true or false.
We did that together before.
Right, we did that together, and making sure that the tests, as much as possible, were first. And so we did that as an example, and so I had an exercise where we walked through it with like the minimal steps each time, and then doing a refactor, and at the end we did more refactoring than ping-ponging until we had a test suite and a final version of the method, and then I had them form groups and divide up into groups for the part 1, 2, and 3 of Homework 0, and they had to come up with a test suite. Each group had to come up with a test suite, and I told them, for your part, probably by the time you have this test suite, you're going to be done writing the code. But then I had them post their test suite, just the tests for each part, and then they had to write the code or finish writing the code for their portion and one other portion that someone had written tests for, but they hadn't done anything else. But the idea is that I'm forcing them this semester to do everything test-driven instead of allowing them, and they're doing the videos, etc. So they have to show that they actually did it that way, and I'm kind of have made several speeches about process being more important in this course than just the end product. So I'm just saying that it just seems to be working.
Cool.
But I think I had to bully them the first week or two.
Yeah, indeed. Well, that's what we did make this, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I don't know if we have a better place, but even writing like a short email describing this,
I'll post my exercise.
Right, broaden the audience and sort of what you did, because that's the way. I mean, what you're saying is interesting, and sometimes if I get like the email reminder, I can flag it and then try and sort of think about it. And
right.
Like that sounds.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying it's the greatest example or anything, but it's a start.
Yeah, I'm doing trying to do pairs in my classes, and when we start out on a new assignment, it can work. But then when I have them come in, for future sessions, a lot of the times they're each at very different points, and so you know, if someone's completed something and someone else wants to work on something, they're not like ready to work on the same thing.
Well, what I had mind doing is making up Google Docs schedules, right? And the rule is they must work with someone else on all portions of of their work. They're going to lose points if they work alone. I mean, simple as that. I gave them 20 points for activities for the semester, and basically, you know, it's all going to be averaged together at the end, but basically there's ways they can get points, there's ways they can lose points. So, one of the big problems I've had in the past is where between classes, you know, they do stuff in class and then they do nothing in between. Basically, because it's an activity, they have to do things like post their status or work with other students. You know, you lay out, you must have this done by the next class. And in the past, if they ran into a roadblock, you know, they would just say, oh, well, I'll wait until class to bring it up. Basically, now, if they wait until class and they have a problem, instead of bringing it up immediately on Slack, they lose 5 points. So that's a motivator. All of a sudden, you know, no one is waiting to, you know, about reporting issues or problems or whatever. They're like right up front, okay, I'm having trouble with this and I can't go further, and bingo, then you can correct it.
So you have your own instance of Slack for them, separate from...
I made 2 new channels. I made a channel for each of my sections.
Are they on Agile Ventures?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize that.
Right. And so we're doing everything on Slack, and some of them have, because we're on Slack, a number of them have already gone and investigated a number of the projects. A number of them have already sent me notes about, I want to work on this project, I want to work on this project. So, you know, I think moving to Slack right from day one was a big win.
Oh, fantastic.
Because they're seeing how it's done. Some of them have just, without me asking, some of them have just joined some of the scrums just to see what goes on.
Oh, that's great. Oh, well, that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got to move on now. I think I was. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I've taken up too much of your time.
I mean, that is like totally awesome what you're doing, and I would love to see Richard doing the same thing for his class. Although I think maybe he has. Well, he has different constraints.
He's got a big class.
He's
got a big class.
Lots of varying skills.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm thinking, just talking about this, I'm kind of, I know we were just talking about 3:45 on Tuesday. I'm kind of, it's annoying. One of the things I'm thinking is about, if I move it there, does it then conflict with the Scrum? And then, you know, is it labeled Scrum? Do we? Maybe we label it the BetaSaaSers Scrum. Maybe that's the way. I think.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I would say, at least for next week, maybe let's stick with the 5:30 slot, and
okay.
Yeah, and
so one more at this time.
Yeah, well, I'm conflicted. I think let me experiment with this. You know,
just let me know, Sam. If you want, I can start it, but I do have to work out some kinks. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff.
We need to go through it together. I mean, I'm in this situation of kind of what, you know. I really love having. I mean, particularly like things you're saying there. I love having these conversations, and I'm just because I get up at 4:30 a.m. every day, and I
know.
It's I'm struggling to find the ideal place to sort of, you know, say fit it into the old schedule.
It's grueling, and you have family, and you have your health.
Yeah, it's and I've managed to get back and have lunch with supper with them more frequently recently, so I'm kind of quite pleased about that. And I think, I was just. You can tell I'm sort of in the background going. I think what I thought there was, there's going to be this conflict with this thing. But if we do what like the OSRA people do, and we label the 3:45 Scrum on the Tuesday, we can label it the Atlantic. We can label it the Atlantic BetaSaaSers Scrum or what have you. And then I think that gets round the. I was starting to think about, it's not going to work with all the different this, that, and the other. But I think if we do that,
the other thing you might want to think about doing is, if there's some more senior people, say, in the Eastern nations or whatever, you might ask if one of them wants to host their own Scrum.
You mean for the BetaSaaSer thing? You mean of the? I mean, that would be the thing actually. Yeah, it's because if there's, it's a bit silly in some ways for me to be the bottleneck on if there's another time that's good for some people who are all based in Europe to have theirs done. Then
or Asia.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna slip off. You know, you can always get me on Slack if there are things. Feel free to carry on chatting without me, but I should probably move on now. Good to catch up with both of you.
Okay, you take care.
Okay.
Likewise. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Yeah, and unless there's anything critical, I have to get ready for my next class.
Yeah, no problem.
Are we good?
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, we're great.
Yeah.
We're great.
So
thanks so much, Richard.
I'm a little confused about why. I still don't understand why the survey didn't have like the full range of times available. I thought they were based on Sam's constraints, but
no. The problem is it's just that Janet had the tool, but the tool is already set up with her constraints. Now, somebody, it might be if you know how to do a doodle.
Yeah, I will look into that.
That would be great.
Because I was about to
post it.
I was about to do it. I got sidetracked.
Sure.
And then it sounded like, oh well, Janet was gonna. So it's like, okay, well, I just put it off because why have two people competing? Okay, that makes sense, and it also is a reason if it shouldn't be starting out with just her constraints.
Right.
She's the lead. Okay, I mean, not that she's unimportant, but
no. But I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
That's helpful.
No problem there. Yeah, I mean, I would have done it. I've not done a doodle before. I could figure it out, but I've been so crazy with trying to finish this ABET stuff, and my stupid machine keeps crashing and hanging.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I will look at her tools. I have a tool that's very simple that I like separate. So I'll figure out one of those other two. Maybe I'll reinitiate this.
Okay.
Okay. Until next time. Yeah, and I'd be curious, like any email sort of description of what you're doing with that. That's
I'll do that. Or if you want, I could also give you, like, the link to my course if you just want to check it out.
I mean, the thing is, even just like a short description, including that link. It's just a reminder thing. It's just a thing for me to look at later.
Not a problem.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Thanks.
Have a great week. Bye.